Okay, people, enough talking about those two quarterbacks. I want to focus in on Matt LaFleur, the Green Bay Packers head coach, as we speak today. I believe that Matt LaFleur is slowly developing into being one of the best head coaches in the entire NFL. Last year, Matt LaFleur comes in. The Green Bay Packers go 13-3 in his first season being head coach. He obviously took over for Mike McCarthy. And listen, I just felt the Packers needed some type of change at head coach. I clearly felt that Mike McCarthy was holding that team back. And Matt LaFleur in his first season was very successful. You know, he won 13 games, but I wasn't completely sold on Matt LaFleur based on last season. You know, I felt that Matt LaFleur came in, he did some very good things. He came with some new ideas. He wasn't afraid to evolve and try new things. And like I said, the Packers, they just needed some type of change. And I understood the team's record was great, but I just felt that the team, you know, kind of was more so a product of the players they had, more so than Matt LaFleur's coaching. That was just my opinion based on what I saw last season. In fact, I felt that Matt LaFleur was actually one of the best head coaches last year on script. But when the Packers got off their script in the second half of games, they really struggled. And they really didn't have a second punch for San Francisco last year, particularly in the playoffs. So I kind of was saying, okay, Matt LaFleur, you come in, you change the culture, the players seem to respect you. I want to see you continue to elevate this team in your second year as head coach. I want to continue to see if you can evolve. I want to see if you're a legit head coach or if you're just a product of Aaron Rodgers and a very talented Green Bay Packers team. And last year, I think some of my criticism for Matt LaFleur was fair because last year, the Green Bay Packers ranked 14th as far as points per game in the NFL last year. They had the 18th ranked total offense in the NFL last year. Keep in mind, people, the Detroit Lions ranked higher in total offense last year than the Green Bay Packers, led by Aaron Rodgers, led by Aaron Jones, a very good running back, led by that good offensive line. The Detroit Lions, who, by the way, last season only won 3 games. That team had a better total offense than an Aaron Rodgers-led Green Bay Packers team. That was concerning to me, especially due to the fact that the Detroit Lions had Matthew Stafford miss several games last year due to injury. So I had my concerns about Matt LaFleur as a head coach. I recognize there were some bright moments for Matt LaFleur last year. He obviously outcoached Pete Carroll in the playoffs, versus Seattle, but versus the 49ers, he was not very good. Kyle Shanahan, his former mentor, absolutely bullied him. But this year, the Green Bay Packers, in my opinion, are a much better football team because of Matt LaFleur's coaching. Personally, I never bought into the whole narrative that Aaron Rodgers was washed up, that he was no longer elite. I actually had Aaron Rodgers ranked as the 3rd best quarterback in the NFL heading into the season. But listen, man, you can clearly tell this is a rejuvenated Green Bay Packers offense. This is not the Mike McCarthy offense of old. This is a whole new offense. And Aaron Rodgers, he's playing some of the best football that he's ever played in his career. Aaron Rodgers this year is back in the MVP conversation. Aaron Rodgers has been efficient. He's been on time. He's been in rhythm. And that has led Aaron Rodgers to having 0 turnover-worthy plays in the NFL this year, according to Pro Football Focus. Not to mention Aaron Rodgers, right now has thrown 13 touchdowns to 0 interceptions through 4 games played. And in some of these games, he's not even had Devontae Adams and Alan Lazard in the lineup. And Matt LaFleur is scheming these guys open. There are easy completions for Aaron Rodgers. This offense is a well-oiled machine. It looks very similar to when Sean McVay led the Los Angeles Rams to the Super Bowl a couple years ago when Jared Goff was putting up MVP-type numbers. This offense is looking very similar to that Los Angeles Rams offense where Jared Goff was playing well. You had Todd Gurley at running back, very similar to Aaron Jones at running back. Jared Goff was spreading the ball around to his playmakers. Aaron Rodgers, it doesn't matter if it's Robert Tonyan, it doesn't matter if it's Jay Sternberger, Devontae Adams, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, Alan Lazard. He's making all these guys look good, okay? And Matt LaFleur, for his career so far, has a 17-3 record through 20 games. That's the second best record in NFL history since 1930. And I've always looked at certain traits when evaluating how good a head coach is. First of all, I look at the presence you bring to the table. Do you bring a presence to that locker room? The players respect Matt LaFleur. Are you a good decision maker? I think Matt LaFleur is a pretty good decision maker. Are you organized? I think Matt LaFleur is much better off script this year. The Packers have been one of the best second half teams in the NFL this year. Can you make adjustments? I see the adjustments from Matt LaFleur. Are you aware of your roster limitations? I think Matt LaFleur has a very good understanding of what his players do well and what they don't do well. He's gotten the most out of these guys. And last but not least, do you know X's and O's? And Matt LaFleur, he's shown off how smart he is as a head coach. So again, obviously we know Aaron Rodgers is great. Obviously we know Davante Adams is great. Obviously we know the Packers defense is better than in years past, led by Jair Alexander, who's playing great, led by Kenny Clark, led by the Smith brothers coming off the edge. But ultimately, one of the biggest reasons why the Packers look like Super Bowl 55 favorites early in the season, in my opinion, is because their head coach, Matt LaFleur, has evolved. He's taken the next step, and slowly but surely, Matt LaFleur is becoming one of the best head coaches in the entire NFL. By the end of the year, Matt LaFleur might be a top 10 head coach, hands down. And if he can win a Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers in his second season as a head coach, that would be very impressive. And ultimately, I love what I've seen from Matt LaFleur as Green Bay Packers head coach in his second season working with Aaron Rodgers. The Green Bay Packers, they're a legit football team, not only because of the talent on their roster, but because Matt LaFleur is a pretty darn good head coach. Give him some credit, people. He deserves it. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Please also note that the juiciest Sports Podcast is not just a YouTube channel. It is available on all podcasting platforms, including Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this content with all your friends. This podcast is my favorite thing in the entire world right now. It is my passion. And I want more people to listen to this podcast. I really want this podcast to grow. Also, a fun fact about me is that I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I am looking to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. And I potentially would like to start my own network if this podcast really truly grows. Or if I fall short of that goal, I would love to work for a big-time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. I am open to all networks. So if you believe in my dreams and you see or hear my passion through the screen, be sure to tell all your friends about the juiciest Sports Podcast. Stay motivated, you guys. Have a God bless day, and I'm out.